Hey folks, it's Johnny at Pepper Base 1, and we know that a lot of people are buying firearms for the first time. Guns are flying off dealer shelves, ammunition shelves are empty, and many of these people are brand new firearms owners. And when I taught Arizona CCW classes, many of my students were brand new firearms owners, and they were all good and decent people. They wanted to get the proper training, they wanted to learn how to use their handgun legally, efficiently, and effectively. And invariably, this one question kept coming up. Wouldn't it be better to shoot a warning shot at an intruder or an assailant in order not to have to hurt them, and hopefully they will just run off without anybody getting hurt? Well, actually, that's a pretty good question. So, what is the answer to our question? Is it ever appropriate to shoot a warning shot at an intruder or an assailant in order to scare them off and avoid having to hurt anybody? And the answer to that's pretty simple. No. And there's a lot of good reasons for it. I'm going to break this down into two segments: practical tactical and moral legal. Okay? And before I begin, I am not an attorney. Okay? You need to talk to your attorney in whatever jurisdiction you live in to understand the local laws, but there are some concepts that cross pretty much all state lines. Okay, so let's look at this from a practical point of view. Let's set up a scenario. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, you're sound asleep, you hear glass breaking, you look up and some dark hulk is climbing through your bedroom window. And you grab your handgun and you decide to scare him off by shooting a warning shot. For those of you who have never fired a firearm in an enclosed, dark room without hearing protection, two things are going to happen immediately. Number one, you're going to be blind, and number two, you're going to be deaf. And blind and deaf is not a good place to be in close proximity to a hostile intruder who may be armed. The third component of that is this person doesn't know that you were shooting a warning shot. He may think you're trying to kill him, and he's scared now. And in his little pea brain, he's going to decide to exercise his concept of self-defense, and he may try to kill you. That's one good reason, okay? Let's take this into an SHTF situation, okay? Depending on the circumstances and the tactical situation, you may not want to give your position away. If you're sure this is an assailant and he's close in, then a warning shot is worthless. There's a lot of other tactical reasons, but for the civilian right now, and what we have still partly a society with rules and laws, you don't want to do this for the tactical reason we just talked about. And now let's talk about some moral and ethical reasons. So let's talk ballistics for a second. When you shoot your firearm, that bullet is going to leave the muzzle at high velocity in the direction the muzzle was pointed until one of two things happen. Either it totally runs out of energy and gravity brings it to the ground, or it hits something. Now, unless you live in the Gobi Desert with a whole bunch of free space around you, the odds are if you shoot a warning shot, that bullet is going to hit something. What you don't want that something to be is your neighbor's 6-year-old child cuddled up with her teddy bear, sound asleep, or one of your family members upstairs or in the next room, or the guy driving down the street heading home after a party and a round comes through his windshield and takes him out. You don't want that to happen. Again, I'm not an attorney, and you need to talk to one who's licensed to practice law in your jurisdiction. But there's a general concept that you are not allowed to use deadly physical force unless you are in imminent danger of death or serious bodily injury. And for those of you that don't know what it means, imminent is like right now. Okay? And a question could be asked, if you had time to shoot a warning shot, were you really in imminent danger of death or serious bodily injury? And that question has been asked to people in the past and caused them a lot of trouble. So, what's the answer to our problem? It's pretty simple, really. In the daytime, your situational awareness should keep you safe unless you are attacked suddenly, in which case you're not going to have time to use a warning shot anyway. If you're in your bedroom at night, like the scenario we discussed, there is an answer, and the answer is flashlight. Most modern day semi-automatics have a rail where you can attach a light to it. And when you have this light, you can flash it on the intruder to identify who it is, to make sure it's actually a threat, or it's not your drunk neighbor who thought it was his house, and people have been shot like that, okay? These lights do a number of things. Number one, it keeps you from being blinded and deaf, and number two, it will blind the intruder. It puts him at a disadvantage, and it allows you to see what's going on. In addition, many of these lights have a strobe feature, which will definitely blind them. I tried mine on me, and it does work, okay? So hopefully in this video, I've explained to you why shooting a warning shot is never an option. It's the bad thing to do, the wrong thing to do, and hopefully this video helped you out. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, hit the bell so you can get notifications of future videos. Subscribe if you think I'm doing some good stuff for you. And until next video, God bless and watch 6.